Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Just cranking up the volume a bit. Sorry. What a couple of weeks it has been. Hopefully a lot of you are sleeping in this morning. I know typically when I come on this early, you guys are getting up and getting ready for work and starting a routine. And I have a feeling today, several of you are sleeping in and hopefully getting some restful sleep. You know, it's funny to have this time, not necessarily off, but you know, we're making different use of our time right now. And you would hope that when you do have some time off that you would have some type of peace and rest. And I feel like sadly it's been sort of taken over by anxiety and fear and doubt and worry and a lot of just like thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. I know I'm somebody who definitely is a thinker and just thinking and thinking and thinking, and seeing the way that everyone's been impacted by this is just, it's so far reaching. And what's tough about it is, you know, for most of you listening, most of you that are here watching, we have like non-essential businesses. My uncle and aunt own a jewelry store. Like, people are not going out and buying diamonds right now. And what's happening in the nail industry for, I think, all of us is that we're all being affected in this very domino type of way. So, you know, our customers, you guys, are all being affected and having to close down shop, if not because the government's making you, just for your own safety and protection at this point. And so you have no money coming into you because you're not making money. And so I don't expect for people to be on our website buying nail supplies right now. And I swear, if I had a way to see if you had enough money for groceries for the next 6 weeks and you didn't, and you tried to buy something from my website, I would break your finger. Because, like, honestly, we just don't know how long this is gonna last. So I don't know what other companies are doing, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this should not be the time that you're buying nail supplies. It just really shouldn't. And if you are somebody who is financially prepared enough and you have an abundance of savings, I mean, a lot of people, I think, in the United States try to have a cushion, right? So you save up your money and you try to have some sort of, what did they used to say? There was some type of rule of thumb for it. It was like, you should be able to, like 3 months, you should be able to pay all of your bills for 3 months. That's how much money you should have in savings, right? How many of us actually have that much money in savings? I'll tell you just about me, like my background, right? Where I started in this industry, I was homeless. I was completely homeless. So I had like zero and I had nothing. And I had no money. I had a welfare check for $97.50 that I got every 2 weeks. That was where I started. And it's really, really hard being paycheck to paycheck. I've been paycheck to paycheck for the better part of my life. And I mean, and then I married a pastor, which was kind of funny because we weren't pastoring like a mega church. We were just pastoring like a small church. And so he was paycheck to paycheck. So we combined our paycheck to paychecks together, and he had a bunch of debt. So even, you know, after I got married, it was like we could never get ahead financially because, you know, we were just trying to cover our immediate expenses week to week to week. And then on top of it, we had debts that we were trying to pay off. So it was really a struggle for a long, long time being paycheck to paycheck like that. And having a nail salon and having nail clients, again, it's hard because you feel like you do everything you can to try to make a little bit extra to save up for like a vacation or to save up for whatever it is. You know, maybe you're trying to do your 3-month cushion and you're like, I'm going to be a responsible adult. Like, I'm going to save up. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's like 3 months worth of rent. That's 3 months of all your bills. That's 3 months of groceries. I mean, that's a lot of money for a family to save up in excess. And you work like a dog, trying to make this money, trying to save your money up. And then you're like, darn it, I deserve a vacation. And so then you want to take the money and instead of putting it in your 3-month cushion for like a catastrophic emergency, you're like, shoot, let's go to Disney. And I've done that. I've been there where you work so hard for so long. And you just are like, I can't, this isn't fair, you know, I shouldn't have to work like this, you know, 52 weeks out of the year just to be able to pay my bills. It's just a really frustrating place to be in. So anyway, I just came on here to say, like, you shouldn't be buying nail supplies right now, you guys. And I love you. Like, I'm about to start crying. It just sucks. What's happening in our industry sucks, but it's happening to all of us. It's happening to, us even here at Wildflowers. You know, you guys shouldn't be buying nail supplies right now, and unless you have a big cushion, right? And I'm gonna guess that most of you don't have a big cushion, and most of you are paycheck to paycheck, and you've got, you know, bills that are still coming, even though we're all going through this right now. So what's happening is, you know, the money's not coming into you, the money's not coming into us. And, you know, as a business, you get into these tough situations where you have to make decisions and figure out what you're going to do. If you have a staff that you're responsible for, like, what are you going to do with your staff? Are you going to continue to pay them even though there's no money coming in? You know, what do you do? What do you do when your business has like single moms? What do you do? I mean, it's like, but this is happening to every one of us out there. I talked to Jan Arnold the other day just because we have like me and Jan have a monthly call. It's really fun. And we get on there and just talk about whatever. So anyway, I was sitting on my hammock and I was talking to Jan Arnold, and she was telling me about her assistant. Her assistant's partner, I guess, works for some really fancy top, you know, like this is out in LA, you guys, like in San Diego and LA. So I mean, it's like really like hobo, some really fancy salon. And, you know, was laid off immediately. They literally laid off their entire staff, just called them and said, you no longer have a job anymore. And sadly, that's what's happening to small businesses all around us. And, you know, a small business only has so much money in it, and you have to have enough money to operate. And so if a small business has a cushion and the small business's cushion gets completely depleted, then you're dipping into the operating funds. And once you dip into the operating funds so deep, you're not going to recover as a business. You just don't have enough money in there to recover as a business. So anyway, it's happening to all of us. We're all being affected by it. To sit here and act like, you know, not that like last week I just didn't want to talk about it, not to say that I was in like denial about it last week. I definitely wasn't in denial about it last week. I felt like the internet was flooded. But now at this point I'm watching, you know, I'm watching just everybody suffer. And I want you to know, like, we're suffering too. We're definitely suffering too as a business. And what's really frustrating for me in the state of Florida is that our governor will not force us to close non-essential businesses. And because he's doing that, the nail salons that are choosing to close are getting major backlash from their customers, because people still want to come in. You know, you just have all those different people types. You have the cautious people, you have the diehards. I mean, this is Florida. People that live here have lived through all of these crazy catastrophic hurricanes and stuff like that, and they think that they're invincible. And I think old people that live to be a certain age as well. And this one's kind of funny, but I feel like, you know, my parents are approaching this age bracket. Once you live to be so old, I feel like you just reached the point where you really start to feel kind of, I don't know if it's a feeling of like feeling invincible, or if you feel like, you know, hey man, if something happens, it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I feel like it's some type of in between of those two feelings. But because of that, there's people out there that think this is all like just stupid, and that we're, you know, like, I mean, think all kinds of stuff about it. And then you have people on the other end of the spectrum that are, you know, just being like crazy paranoid. Those are the people you see with like the garbage bags with the eye holes walking around like that. And then you have, you know, I laugh at the memes that are like, oh, every now and then, like, I feel like I'm overreacting, and then I feel like I'm not reacting enough. So it's to do voluntary closures here in Florida, which is what a lot of us are doing. I voluntarily closed Wildflowers last week on Monday. Jennifer is really the only one that's actually physically coming into work to ship. So she's shipping only on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just to get the orders out the door that we do. There still are people, and I'm not going to stop anyone from placing an order. We still do have orders coming in. So she's coming in Monday, Wednesday, Friday to get those out. But of course, it's a tiny fraction of what we normally handle. Tay is also at her home trying to like work from home, but she's got some kids, you know, so it's definitely tricky. I love reading these comments, you guys. Yeah, I know. Clients don't care. Clients don't care if you just popped a baby out your womb. They're still going to come try to get their nails done. It's amazing how certain clients can be like really insensitive a-holes, and then other clients can just be absolutely amazing. And yeah, so I'm sorry if you're one of the people going through this. I have a lot of feelings about it. A lot of people in my extended family are healthcare professionals. You know, I talked to my aunt the other night, and she was a trauma nurse for 30 some years. And so she definitely has a different perspective on everything than someone like me would. But yeah, her biggest concern is that this is so much more contagious than a flu. And yes, anyone with a compromised immune system is in trouble. And I don't think you guys realize around us, well, I'm sure some of you do, but I'm sure some of you, you know, like also don't. And that's okay. We're all in different places in life, and we all have different understanding of just everything. And I think it's surprising to think about how many people around you are diabetic, maybe. There's people around you who are diabetic that don't even know they're diabetic. And I'm going to probably say that it could or could not be your husband or a guy in your life, because they're usually the really stubborn ones. My husband was diabetic for, I want to say 8 years before I could finally get him to go to a doctor and get diagnosed for it. And at that point, you know, he took a test and his blood sugar was like 400 something, and it's supposed to be like 100. And, you know, there's just a lot of people walking around with compromised immune systems, and I think half of them don't realize that. So it's not just old people, it's anybody. Diabetes, kids with asthma, or chronic, you know, illnesses like that. I mean, there's just a lot of people around all of us that maybe we don't think could be at risk, but they are. And people are going out and they're being exposed to other people. Yeah, I mean, if my husband was diabetic and asthma, I would freaking lock him up. I would lock him away in the bedroom. You know, and it's funny because I think husbands too think they're invincible. My husband keeps on venturing out. And I'm like, you realize like you're putting our whole family at risk every time you go out the door. It's like he's going stir crazy. And yesterday the toilet got clogged. Just stop for a funny story. Yesterday the toilet got clogged, right? And we had just moved. And so I think we had just tossed all of our like plungers and toilet equipment. Anyway, we had tossed most of it, and so we're like, shoot. So then we're on YouTube, and we're trying to do that thing with like the saran wrap where you put it over the toilet, and then you like do CPR on your toilet. It didn't work. And then we tried this other thing where you put like a bunch of Dawn, you know, but we didn't want to waste the Dawn. So anyway, Eventually my husband, he called it his redneck, I forget what, he's from Kentucky if you don't know, but he duct taped something together and crammed it down the toilet and was finally able to do it. But yeah, even medications, right, Michelle? Like, there's just so many people around us. So I would consider myself a fairly healthy individual. I've got like a few food allergies. I have smoked crack in my lifetime. I don't know if my lungs have been affected from smoking pot and smoking crack, but I would say, I mean, it's been 16 years, so it's been a while. I'd say my lungs are probably fine now, but I do have asthma. I did have asthma growing up. And so for me, like, although I think I'm pretty healthy, I'm kind of like, oh, you know, it could be extra complicated, if I was to come down with something like that. So anyway, just be mindful of that. I hate the desperate situation that now techs find themselves in, where you do feel like, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to provide for my family? And the only way you see to do that is by doing nails. So you're still continuing to do nails, still continuing to put yourself and others at risk, to be able to get money, to be able to feed your families. It's just a really crappy situation all around for all of us. So I do have a bit of understanding, for the people who are out there still trying to do nails and do them safely. You know, what would I do in this situation? Rewind back to 5 or 6 years ago, before wildflowers really became a big thing and I had my own salon and I was living paycheck to paycheck. I would have closed. I know I would have closed. When I went through the medical nail tech course with Dr. Spalding and what's her name, Janet McCormick, they wrote that medical nail tech course and I took it and I learned so many things from that course. It really changed my perspective. And here's what changed my perspective about it. This is what changed my perspective for me. I am a nail tech. I want to help people. That's like my thing that drives me every day, is like, I want to help people. I want to make people feel better. Somebody would come to me and they would say, oh my gosh, I know, like, I stubbed my toe off this dresser like 5 years ago, and it got black and it fell off and it just grew back really thick and weird. And it's really hurting in my shoe. Would you be able to just file it down or make it thinner? So for me, being the naive nail tech, the uneducated nail tech back then, sure, you know, and I would get my bid on my e-file. I wouldn't wear a mask. I wouldn't wear gloves because I wasn't thinking anything of it. And I didn't think that by doing that, all I thought was, wow, I'm really helping this lady out. Maybe she'll stay my client forever. And that was really my thought process on the whole situation. Later on, come to find out that, you know, more than likely she has a fungal infection on her toenail, which is highly contagious. I am making that airborne by using an electric file on it, and I'm now inhaling fungal spores by not protecting myself. And by one little thing going wrong with liquid disinfectant, or one little thing going wrong with the way I do my, procedures in the salon, I'm able to spread that fungal infection to my next client. Maybe my next client that walks in the door is a chemotherapy patient. And, she just feels really awful. She's going through chemotherapy, and my job is to make her feel better and make her feel pretty and make her feel good. And I want to help her, right? It's like me wanting to help her. So I go and I work on her toes, and maybe I have to use my e-file, that didn't get to, maybe the fungal spores are still in the air because I was drilling the last lady's big fat toenail. So maybe the poor lady going through chemo is now inhaling the fungal spores. Maybe my liquid disinfectant didn't get mixed properly, or maybe I had the thing sitting in the sink and somebody turned the water on and more water got into my liquid disinfectant, which now makes it not effective. And so these are the things that happen. And when I really sat back and thought about, am I really in this to help people? Am I really in this to help people? to make their lives better, to make things good. Am I really in there? Is this what I'm doing this for? And my answer was yes. And it really made me think, oh my God, then I need to change the way I do things so that I'm not putting my chemotherapy patient at risk because I'm trying to help this lady like this. She was a nurse, you know, she's on her feet all day, or toenails, she should know it's a fungal infection. I don't know. But it's like, this is real life. This is a true story. But these are the things that like you start to think about, oh my gosh, how is me helping this person, thinking that I'm doing something good, possibly hurting the next person or the next 5 people? Or how is it possibly going to end up hurting my family? So that was a game changer for me. That course is still available. Maria, who asked about it, it's a medical nail tech course, and I'm not sure, Medi Nails was the name of it. And I think that the people who were running it, I think there was a falling out somewhere along the way. So there might be like 2 different ones, but it was an incredible course to take. If you're looking for online education during this time, I would highly recommend it. You will learn a lot. And it impacted me so much that I got the book Death by Pedicure by Dr. Spalding, and I literally sat it next to my pedicure area. And so I would be doing a pedicure on my clients, and they would literally be reading Death by Pedicure as I was working on their feet. And also in there, you know, it talks about the proper protocol that you should be using, you know, and they could see as I was working on them that I was doing everything the right way. And then when I had to tell people no, it became very different for me, because I knew that by telling someone no, that I was protecting my chemotherapy lady, and I was protecting all of these other people that I needed to keep protected. And so, yeah, it just totally shifted my perspective. And it wasn't so much about just trying to win everybody's approval and get everybody to like me and be the most helpful, awesome nail tech that I could be. It became, I still want to do all that stuff, but I have to do it responsibly now, because God forbid, I would never want to hurt someone that's already hurting. I would never want to compromise someone further that has a compromised immune system. So learning about that was a real game changer for me. So that's just my story on, you know, on caring about my clients and, you know, what I would be doing in the situation. So that was why last week on Monday, I chose to close Wildflowers. It's because I didn't want my girls that work for Wildflowers to be at risk, because I can't control where they're going. I can't control what they're doing. I can't control who they come in contact with. I can control it in a work environment, but the minute they walk out the door, I can't control who they see, who they talk to, who they're in contact with, what they do. I don't know. I definitely know for a few of my girls that there are people who have compromised immune systems on the other side of their life that I can't see. And so, you know, I had just gotten back from Switzerland. My daughter had just gotten back from Mumbai, India, like literally in the middle of the travel ban. I was like, get on a direct flight from Mumbai to the United States before I break your neck. That was me telling my daughter she needed to get her butt home. And thankfully she was able to get a direct flight from Mumbai back to the United States. But both of us came through New York. I came through JFK. She came through Newark, New Jersey. But you know, like we both came through there, and it was very scary. And so I've kind of quarantined myself, even though I felt like at the time back, you know, March 2nd, this was like 2.5 weeks ago. I felt like I was being a little bit over whatever. But now with my daughter getting back from India just like a week ago, and quarantining her, I did that to protect my girls at headquarters, because like I said, I know that on the other side of their life, they have people who have compromised immune systems. And I thought, you know what, this is craziness. So we, closed Wildflowers last week, and, So yeah, I've got a shipper still going in there 3 days. So you can still place orders. We'll still ship the orders out. They won't come out, as quickly, but yeah, we're all being affected by this. Every business, every one of us. And like I said, if I catch you buying nail supplies and you don't have enough money for your groceries for at least the next 6 weeks, I'm gonna break more than just your fingers. So please be wise. Please, you guys, so much on my YouTube channel. Sure, you can pay for courses. Our courses are half off. They're all half off from now until the end of the year. So if you're in a situation where you have plenty to get you through this horrible time, consider yourself very, very blessed. And if you want to pay and take an online course and do some online coursework during this downtime, by all means, we have it on sale. But I'm telling you what, there's so much for free on YouTube. Like, don't feel like you're missing out. If you're somebody who can't even afford your groceries for the next 6 weeks, please, you are missing out on nothing. Don't buy nail stuff right now. You don't need to buy nail stuff right now. I promise when this is all over, we will have a giant sale. And you guys, I'm getting mad at nail companies because they keep on doing stuff like, oh, 40% off of this, 40%. I'm like, don't make these people spend their money on nail supplies because they think they're gonna miss a good deal. It's absurd. Don't buy nail supplies right now. I love you guys, but don't be stupid. Yeah, so that's really what I wanted to say to you guys this morning. I love you. We're still doing the school blessing. We're still going forward with a lot of the things that we're doing. Red acrylic brush this month for Drinks Beauty College. If, like I said, if you're one of those people who, you have your finances together and you're good to go through this famine, by all means, yeah. I think our deal of the week is foil gel and foils. It's not going to be any better than the big sale we'll have when this is all over and we've all rebounded. So don't feel inclined to buy. Am I crazy for owning a company and telling you guys not to buy nail stuff? I mean, seriously, but don't. Just don't. Life will go on. You're no good for anybody if you're not well. So we don't know how long this is going to go on. And we just don't know what state our industry is going to be in. I love that Tammy Taylor has started a relief fund and she's donating, a portion of all the sales to those who are in need. That's wonderful. As a business owner, I am just trying to take care of my staff as long as I can until I can't anymore. And there will come a time that, yes, Wildflowers will not have any more money to continue to pay our staff. It's coming. So I'm praying that something happens. I'm praying that something happens, but I know, like I said, a lot of you guys are in the same situation. And, think about that type of stuff. So, yeah, buy more when, thank you, Kitty. Buy it when we have the sale after all of this. So you guys, it feels good to say it. It feels good to say it. I'm not going to sit here and try to get you guys to buy stuff. It's just dumb. Don't buy nail stuff right now. You don't need it that bad. You really don't need it that bad. It doesn't matter if people put all their stuff at 70% off. If you don't have money for groceries for the next 6 weeks, you should not be buying nail stuff, okay? Think twice before you buy an online course, please. Because again, the same thing. You should be, yeah. So make your list. I promise you when this is over, we will have a great big sale. I'll give you guys a little time to recover. So whatever, once we can all get back on our feet, get recovered a little bit, get a little money saved up, because if you did have money you were saving for education, or if you did have money that you were saving for a big sale, you're probably going to end up spending it on groceries and everything else. So Yeah, this is exactly, Dana Lynn. This is the time to play with what you have stocked up. This is the time to learn how to use those products that you don't know how to use. This is the time to pull all the crap out of your drawers, and this is the time to do that. Oh, the mentoring thing that I'm doing. I still would love to do the mentoring thing that I'm doing. I may consider postponing it. I have to reach out for those who have signed up for it. I have about 7 nail techs that want to do it. I can still do it with them if their finances are squared away and they want to go ahead and do it. But I have a feeling that this just, like, if I had to just make a blanket call, I would say I'm going to postpone it. Just because they might think that they have the finances to do it. But again, if we don't rebound as fast as we all hope that we will, then, you know, what you think you might need for 2 weeks turns into 6 weeks, God forbid. You know, I am going to have different sessions. So I plan on doing the program, Andrea, 3 times a year. But yes, get the stuff out of your drawers. Get the stuff out of your drawers. Get on YouTube. Get online. I am trying my best. I have over 100 YouTube videos teaching you guys how to do stuff. If there's a certain technique that you're looking, there's a certain technique that you're looking to learn, please, you can send us a message. My daughter and myself have been coming to work every day. I have this unit that I'm in right now, and it's literally just me and my daughter over here working, no one else, and we are on the computer for Wildflowers. That means I am doing critiques, I am doing customer service stuff, I am recording some videos, I am, doing all that sort of stuff. My daughter is still trying to handle our customer service at Wildflowers. So if you have a customer issue, feel free to reach out to us. And we will still continue to be here through all of this, myself and my daughter, for as long as it takes or whatever. So Wildflowers will make it through this. We will rebound from this. It's just getting tough. It's getting tough on all of us. And again, we're all in this together. So, I'm just praying. I wish that there was a way to resolve this quickly. Part of me was like, dang, I wish the president would make us all just stay shut in for 2 weeks. Just to force everybody to make no contact, completely stop the spread of this. But it's no matter what they do as a government, people are always going to rebel against it and do what they want to do. And, so we just have to get through it best we can. Every state is taking different measures, doing different things. They finally shut down the partying on the beaches here, thank God. But I'm like, oh my gosh, it makes me scared to just go out for groceries because it's you just don't know who you're going to run into. It makes me so sad for the old people. It makes me want to put on my entire scuba gear without the flippers. Probably could go without the flippers, but full wetsuit with the mask, with the air tanks on my back to go out in public. Gloves. Just oh, that's what I feel like down here. So anyway, I'm just going to read a couple comments and then I'm going to go ahead and go. Oh, Debbie, what did you need a code for? Debbie, send us an email, info@wildflowersnails.com, and I'll be able to help you out with whatever you need. Been doing your nails. Oh, you need a code for the class. Yeah, Debbie, just send us an email. Okay, I love your comments, you guys. Oh, is it affecting the adoption? Good question. I like this. It's going to be the Ask Me Anything Facebook Live. Yes, it is affecting the adoption, definitely, because the adoption agency's first responsibility is to keep the kids safe. So first and foremost, they're gathering up stuff because, an orphanage is a group home. I believe the orphanage where our girls are is, there's maybe 120 kids in it. It's a lot. It's like big group home for kids. So I think there's about 120 of them in there. So the organization right now is not really so much focused on processing adoptions, because a lot of the governments are like starting to close down too. Can't do an adoption without the government officials involved. So right now their first priority is getting supplies to the orphanages. So like masks, gloves, all the medical supplies, the stuff that they need. Trying to kind of lock the facility down and keep people out to keep it from getting into the orphanage facilities. So yeah, I mean, that's their thing. They're still, of course, sending emails with cute little kids like puppies in cages. I hate those emails. But they're still, sending out their marketing. I think a lot of companies are still sending out their marketing stuff as if nothing's going on. But yeah, it's definitely affecting the adoption. Is it affecting the licensing school that I'm trying to open? Yeah, like I mailed off my stuff on Friday, and I don't know, all the schools in Florida are closed. I don't know if the Commission for Independent Education in Florida is also closed as well. So I thought, well, I'll send off the application and, they'll get it and it'll sit there, or they'll get it and somebody will do something with it. Either way, I thought, well, might as well mail it off. So yeah, it's definitely put us behind in the adoption, that's for sure. So I'm not sure. It's like everything in life is getting postponed. All of the nail events, all of the nail shows. I was supposed to win this great big award from Beauty Changes Lives. I forget the name of the award, but it was like a big, huge big deal, because it's an industry award. It's not a nail industry award. It's a beauty industry award. And it was some kind of award because they feel that I'm poised in some type of position to make like a huge lifelong impact on the nail industry or the beauty industry as a whole. It was a huge honor. So anyway, gosh, I forget what it was called. I feel so bad forgetting the name of the award. But anyway, they were paying, BCL, Beauty Changes Lives, was paying to fly me to the Chicago show to give the award, and I was gonna have to speak. And so that, of course, got postponed, and there's rumors that they're maybe trying to move it to the new Premier Orlando and the Premier Orlando dates. So yeah, it's just crazy. Okay, I'm just reading your comment, Narelle. Oh, well, thanks. I didn't really Norelle. I didn't really come on here to try to persuade anyone to stay open or close or do any of that. But I just explaining my perspective, my personal perspective, and when that changed for me. And it was years ago. When that changed for me, yeah, it just really changes the way you look at the whole situation and trying to help people and trying to be helpful to clients. So I'm glad that it helped you. I'm glad that you have a piece about what you're doing. And I think that's what I'm kind of a little bit annoyed with the state of Florida and the fact that they won't close salons down, is because I feel like as a salon owner, when you have to make a decision like that, it really helps to have someone have your back. To say I'm closing my salon down for the health and safety of everyone. And also because the government's making it's the good cop, bad cop thing, and you get to be the good cop. I would love to stay open for you, but the government, this takes the whole good cop, bad cop situation kind of out. So you just have to be the good cop and the bad cop and, do your thing. I would love to service you, but I have a responsibility to protect everyone that I service, and I can't, I just don't want to put everyone at risk, It's a good answer if you have to. So yes, Premier Orlando is going to be in August. Oh, thanks, Phyllis. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. I haven't heard anything official yet. So, yeah. All right. Well, any other questions? I love you guys so much. I love seeing you guys so much. I want you to know that I really am praying for our industry. Yeah, here's what I freaking hate so much. I hate when everything in my life, I have a therapist, you guys, like I'm telling you, I see her every Tuesday morning at 8:30 in the morning. I literally have a therapist, but I hate feeling like every part of my life is out of my control. And I feel like right now, so many of us are in a place where we feel like almost every area of our life is out of control. It is a frustrating place to be in. So frustrating because you want to do something, but it's like you go to you want to move in some type of forward direction. It's like, so you go to try to move in a forward direction, but it's like, but you don't know what's going to happen down the road. So it's like, oh, but wait, like maybe I shouldn't do that because I don't know if this is all going to be like for nothing. And then you're like, oh, maybe I should do this. And you want to go turn this way and move this forward direction. But it's like, again, you can't move in that direction because you're like, well, shoot, what if this happens or what if that happens? And it's just, I'm in that same place with you guys. It is extremely frustrating. It's just, there's nothing like it. And I hate the feeling of uncertainty and I hate the feeling of unknown. I hate not knowing how long this is going to last. I hate not knowing if eventually I'm going to end up with it. I hate not knowing how this is going to impact the nail industry. I hate not knowing how long I'm going to be able to keep, paying my employees. I hate not knowing, like, if we are going to actually get from the government. I hate not knowing, I hate not knowing what's happening with our adoption. I hate not knowing like a million gajillion things, and I hate it. And so, I'm just trying my best to find some type of peace in the middle of this chaos. And for me, I have a relationship with God, and praying and reading my Bible and doing Bible studies brings me some kind of peace. And I hope that for you too have something that can really bring you peace, because I hate being in that mental space, where you just don't have any peace. So I'm praying for you guys that, you have a peace inside of you, that you really have a peace inside of you. So, played in my pool for a little while yesterday and I got my phone wet and now it's broken. I'm like, whatever, I give up. All right, you guys, I'm going to get off here. I love you all so much. Don't buy nail supplies right now. Save your money for groceries for the next 6 weeks, please. When we get through this, we'll have a massive giant sale and it will be wonderful. All right. I love you guys so much. Bye.